Hey guys, Coach Washington here. Just wanted to touch base with you. You know, one of the questions I always get, especially when I'm working with my younger kids, is, hey coach, how early or how young is too young to get my kid playing whatever sport, fill in the blank, basketball, football, you know, whatever. And my parental as well as my professional, more so my professional advice is from ages 5 to 8, I think it's a great time to introduce your kid to sports. You know, besides it being great photo opportunities because they're so daggone cute, I think it's a really good opportunity for them to start learning to actively use their their listening skills, as well as being able to start learning what and understand what a team is, how to play on a team, you know, how to follow rules, you know, what is good sportsmanship. You know, this is a great time to just introduce them and mix it up. You know, you can find with your local recreation centers. I know the YMCA does a really good job of creating little packages of just different sports for your child to try at those ages. So many different sport authorities, once again, your recreation centers. This is just a really good time for them to learn how to learn the game. Okay, so that's from ages about 5 to 8. I would say from about ages 9 to 13, I truly believe, I stand on it, that this is the time to scale back on a bunch of games. Now, if they have not played, if they've gotten to about 8, 9 years old and you want to put them on a team, I still think that's good. If they've never been on a team, you know, in that time, maybe from about 9 and 10, find a good team for them just so they can practice and see what it's like to be on a team. But even so, I still feel like from the ages 9 to 13 is a really great time to just let them find a good skills trainer and work on their fundamental skills. And I'm talking about fundamental athletic skills such as running, jumping, speed, agility, how to throw and catch. You would be amazed how many kids I get by their freshman year who cannot consistently and accurately throw a tennis ball. That's something that I incorporate into my trainings. But the reason I do that is because it's important to know how to accurately throw a ball, especially if you're playing a sport that requires it. We've been sold this idea that the more games you play, the better you're going to get. Well, they just got to play more games. They got to play more games. No, what happens is when you're playing more games, all it does is causes you to just do what works. And if nobody has ever taken time to just stop and say, no, this is how you shoot the basketball, or this is how you shoot the left consistently, then what happens is when your child is getting to about 7th and 8th grade, you know, now don't get me wrong, some kids just naturally have it. But even for those kids who naturally have it, there's some type of skill work they've got to get better at. Because if you have some kids who are just naturally, you know, athletic, what happens is they've just been able to get away with it. You know, they are probably one of the better kids on the team, so if they've been able to score, they just score. But trust me when I say, you'll either learn your fundamentals early or you'll have to learn them late. Trainer. There's so many great trainers who are out there who really work well with kids and who are really patient with being able to teach the basic skills. Basics go to complexity, okay? The basic skills, making sure you find someone that's like that. I feel like another couple of reasons why that's important is because sometimes when you have kids that go from 5 years old all the way up to high school and they have just been playing from, you know, t-ball or, you know, pee-wee basketball all the way up to high level basketball, several times, and I see it happen more times than none, they get burnt out. Usually they're kind of burnt out by about 9th, 10th grade, honestly. You know, and I'm going to be honest with you, that's even if they're extremely competitive in some cases. So those are some things to think about, as well as injury. You know, I see too many kids who are very young who are wearing tendonitis bands on their knees and stuff because they don't take a break. One of the things I know I have to talk to my own kids about is understanding how to tell when your body is telling you to sit down or telling you, hey, okay, something's not right. But a lot of times what will happen is a kid may hurt themselves, maybe their ankle or something. They might have rolled an ankle when they were a little bit younger, but they just continue to play on it. The next season comes, they play. The next season comes, the next season comes, they continue to play. And once again, eventually, if it's not treated or if it's not given a break, it's going to affect them later on. I stand by it. I've seen it happen way too many times. So that's not me trying to put anything on you. It's just me, hey, just kind of giving you the real tea on what's going on. So just to recap, 5 to 8, I think it's great to introduce them to sports and to start kind of letting them figure out kind of, you know, you can tell which knack they kind of fall under. 9 to 13, scale back on the games. Focus more on just their fundamental skills, like just their athletic skills and fundamental skills regarding that sport. And then from 14 to 18, maybe you can go ahead and ramp up their games a little bit more, along with, making sure that their fundamentals are also being included. And, of course, a lot of that's going to go, obviously a kid is going to go and work on their own too if they're extremely serious about it. But at least that way they're working on the right things and not just watching watching television and just trying to do the fun moves and not really honing in on how to do it correctly. Okay? So that's all I got. I hope that helps you in making certain decisions. Make sure you catch my next video on what to look for, or how to find a really good coach, or how to find a really good sport program or sport team for your child. My name is Coach Washington, and I am your pocket coach.